Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's my Readers, and welcome back to another video. And today we're looking at kind of the probability behind Kaguya, and I guess more specifically, like how long it will kind of take for Kaguya, since obviously, new Vanguard, and well, the event is finally here. And I do want to preface by saying that this is different from the Gogeta one because, admittedly, I kind of half-assed the Gogeta one and the calculations weren't exact. But this time around, I did do, the calculations exact. Everything is accurate. And yeah. So I'll kind of just quickly go through it. Here, you can kind of see the amount that you can expect. This will make more sense here in a little bit, but you can see how much currency you get per run, and then this is like, what you can expect if you do X amount of clears per day, yada yada yada. Once again, this is important because of this. um, but you can see kind of like a breakdown of like kind of how much currency you can expect for doing X amount of clears for X amount of days. I did up to 60 days because I think this event will be here for around 60 days. And then obviously from here on out, you can scroll to the right. You can see how many 10 spins that translates into. And then on the last part, you can see what the probability ends up looking like. And then finally, you have here how much time. And this is in hours. I want preferences. This is all in hours. I didn't go turn it into days since I just didn't do it. But yeah, so you can see we have 0%, we have 25%, we have 50%, 75, and then 100. And then obviously, I'm assuming most of you guys are doing this with 100% buff, so I'll kind of just quickly go over 100%. I'm not, look, man, I could stretch this out to 8 minutes, but I really don't give a shit. But yeah, so you can kind of see how much currency you are expected if you do, X amount of clears per day. Um, Here, you can see how many 10 spins this turns into. And then finally, you have your probability. And what I would probably look out for you guys realistically is probably, I would say, 20 clears per day. And you want I would say 15 to 20 clears per day is realistically what you have to do in order to have a decent chance of getting Kaguya, because you can see, if you do around 15 to 20 for 60 days, you're looking at around a 60 to 70% chance, which equates to around pretty much 2.7 to around, 2.7 to 3.6 mil. What are they called? Flowers? Yeah, flowers. So that's like the average, I would say, for like if you want a decent chance of doing it is around 2 to like I said, 2.5 to like I would say probably 4 mil. If you want like a pretty decent chance. And then obviously, it goes higher than that. And I do like want to preference this once again by saying that look, this is probability. This isn't guaranteed. There's a guaranteed is completely different. Just because it says 95% chance doesn't mean we're that likely. All this means is that out of the 100 people that end up farming up 9 million presents, 95 of them are most likely going to probably pull Gogeta. But maybe that isn't always going to be the case either. But that's just what this says realistically is going to happen. However, that might not happen. So keep that in mind now that look, this isn't guaranteed. I don't know. Look, I will preference this over and over again because in the Gogeta video, I always got comments like, "Oh, I got 4 million. Why didn't I have it?" Like, look, probability is different from guaranteed. Probability is just showing you the likelihood behind it, and then obviously, last but not least, you can kind of look at how much time. So you can see, like I said, if you're looking at 15 to 20 runs, you're looking at anywhere beyond 130 to 180 hours, which if you divide that into days, you can do the math, but you're looking at a total of around 7 days of gameplay, or I want to say, which look, it's a tower defense game. I don't think that's should be too surprising, but obviously, yeah. So that is the kind of spreadsheet. I will have a link to it down below for you guys. I try to make it. I made it a lot more, I think, organized this time around. So hopefully you guys can just kind of like look. if you want, if you're like doing 100% boost, you want to look at how many presents you have, and like want to look at your like statistical chance, you can. But that's all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching, and like I said, link to this will be in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.